Good evening, everyone. Hope you are having an enjoyable day. We are here to practice in preparation for the paper one exam for January 2025 in human and social biology. Okay, so do join up. Thanks uh, for coming out. We are working towards getting this one. So just buying some time for others to join up who may be interested in the paper ones and preparing for it for the exams coming up. The exams are on their way. Exams are full in swing. In fact, Wednesday has biology. That's one we are very interested in as well. And then Friday, HSB. Yeah, very interested in that as well. So do tune in so that we can check these things out. Now, so yeah, let's get into it. We are looking at the what is it? This paper is paper one that we are very much interested in. This paper one, very, very interested in it. So yeah, rush. So let me just check something, some settings here. Make sure everything is running as it should be. Yes, good evening to you. All right, yeah, things are running as they should be. Right. So we today we want to look at the uh, June 2022 paper, and I am using the June 2022 paper intentionally to make sure, because the trick with this exam is once you get that familiarity with the questions, yeah. So yesterday we used, and I encourage persons to watch that video from yesterday, the 2024 June paper. The 2022 will give you a good coverage of the questions that could come. You will see some repeats, obviously, but this you will also get to see mm, how the questions will the different questions or how they style them differently. Yeah. So let's get into it. So we know that this syllabus came into effect June 2022. So the paper that I'm choosing today is the June 2022, which is the first exam under this syllabus. Yeah. So we have had one exam from May, June 2022, two exams from 23, two exams from 24. So that means a total of 5 exams under the syllabus has passed. All right. So this January here is the 6th exam under the syllabus. right? It's the sixth exam under this syllabus, and ever so often CXC revises syllabus, they update syllabus, there's new information. That's how education works, right? You put in new information, some information may be outdated. We see things like latrines or pit latrines, which were in the previous syllabus, no longer being in this syllabus because, many persons throughout the Caribbean would have moved away from pit latrines and started using sewer systems, etc. Yeah. So we are doing this syllabus, and I'm thinking that the first paper will give you the first paper, and yesterday's latest paper will give you a nice spread of questions so that you could see and be very, very familiar. Because that's it, right? Familiarity breeds confidence in doing your questions so that person's not changing answers. They could go in the exam come Friday saying, oh, yeah, this is the answer to this. Our favorite principal gave us the answer to this. He showed us how it's explained out, so we could use that one. Yeah. So let's just recap and understand that this paper one will be worth 30% of our grade. Yeah. The paper two that has already passed is worth 50% of the grade, and we are going to release a video tomorrow for the paper two so that everyone could look at it and see how they would have fared in that paper two. It was a wonderful exam, and we prepared many candidates for that exam. So we are very confident in their results thus far. And we want you to even use that as confidence to look forward for the paper three and the paper one that is coming up. Yeah. So we will release that video. So make sure you have your notification bell checked so that as soon as that video is released, you could be informed so you could check it out. Yeah, your total grade goes to 100, obviously, and the closer to the 100 you are, the better it is for the one, because that is what we want. Your favorite principal, wants you and everybody. If everybody could get ones, that would be great. That would be the greatest thing ever. So let's look at this paper. This is the May-June 2022 paper. This is how the second pages look. The first pages have some other things for you to fill in, maybe a center number, your candidate number, and this is the page after it. With the instructions, it gives you a time limit of 75 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes. You have to do all the questions. So, if you get 75 minutes to do 60 questions, that is a minute and a quarter or a minute and 15 seconds for every question. Yeah. And if you want to practice under the timeline, you could always join our CXC to Go WhatsApp group so that you could practice questions even with the time constraints of a minute and 15 seconds per question. That happens at 7 a.m. AST. So you could join that. The link is in the description for you to join and sign up. It will happen again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So do be part of that. Yeah, and your shading and answering. Some students always forget an eraser. I'm saying for multiple choice, please work with your eraser. It's more valuable than you think, right? When you shade, you might want to erase. Remember, this is not a human mark in this. It's a computer mark in this. You want to have 3 responses clean without any smudges or anything. So work with an eraser, not just for human and social biology, for all your paper ones. Yeah, they are not hand marked, they are not marked by a human. It's a computer marking them, and having 3 clean responses mean you have 1 shaded over response And if you have more than one shaded over response, you automatically get it wrong. Yeah? So work with an eraser in case any mistakes happen, and we know you are using pencil. And if you read the CXC instructions, they even go so far as to tell you what style of pencil to use to select your answer. And it's about getting the best answer. So your favorite principal here is taking you through this paper. So let's get started with item number 1, which refers to the following aquatic food chain: phytoplankton, zooplankton, fish, water bird. And straight away, you should see this as a familiar question. And for those who are joining us today for the first time, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe. And I will just highlight the answers for you. Let me click my little highlighter here. I'm using blue this time. I'm feeling blue these days, so I am using the color blue as well, right? Blue is always a fun color to use. So this question, phytoplankton, we see this as a popular question. This is a popular question to ask which one is the producer. And we always know the producer is the start of the food chain. So whatever is in this spot is the producer. Even if you are not familiar with the organism, whichever organism is at the start of the food chain is the producer, right? So phytoplankton, some persons may know what it is, some persons may not know what it is, but phytoplankton is the producer. So straight away, our answer is D. And we know this follows A, B, C, D, E in terms of sections of the syllabus. Section A is living organisms and the environment. Section B is life processes. Section C, genetics, hereditary variation. Section D, diseases. Section E, man's impact, right, on the environment. So this is section A. Yeah, the first few questions, the first question will always be from section A. The 60th question will always be from section E. It follows the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, right? So number 2, which of the following cell organelles allow substances to pass in and out of the cell? And straight away, looking at these organelles, the nucleus, that is responsible for controlling the cell vacuole. It stores something like a cell sap. The cytoplasm as a nice fluid that all the organelles sit in. The cell membrane is basically the fence of the cell. So that is the one that allows things to pass in and out of the cell. Which of the following is an example of a terrestrial food chain? Terrestrial food chain, meaning land. Meaning land. So if you're starting off with seaweed, fish, seagull, how terrestrial is that? The seaweed grows in the sea. That will sound very landish. The pondweed, tadpole, fish. Ooh, that sounds like a river, a freshwater river or freshwater stream. Plant, grasshopper, bird. Ooh, sounds very landish. Let's continue reading on. Pondweed, tadpole, duck. Again, could be a stream, a pond, a lake. So we are going with C for number 3. Yeah, and do feel free to give your answers as well, just to make sure we are matching up. Yeah, so as I do the questions, as I read the questions, you could give your answers. Make sure you are on the right track, and that keep track so that you know, oh, I need to practice a little more for these style of questions. Give your comments as well. Keep an eye on the chat for any interesting comments. An example of diffusion is the movement of sodium across cell membrane, glucose from the digestive tract to the villi, oxygen from the alveoli to capillaries, sucrose from phloem tubes to companion cells. So for number 4, we could see diffusion, that's the operative word here. And we have to be talking about oxygen from the alveoli to the capillaries. Yeah, the sodium, if you notice, there are channels, there are pump channels to move sodium, glucose from the digestive tract to the villi, right? So those things, the best answer is C. The best answer is C. Going on to number 5. The site of photosynthesis in plants is the chloroplast. So I don't think it have any other answer that could come. And even this question came as a paper 2 question for this year, right? They ask you this. They ask you what is the site for photosynthesis. They gave you the equation, and they ask you what is the pigment involved. It's chlorophyll. All right, so chlorophyll is found inside chloroplast, which allows photosynthesis to take place. Question 6. Which of the following vitamins can be produced by the skin as well as obtained from food? And this is so popular in the Caribbean because the Caribbean just has hot sun and plenty rain. So we know vitamin D can be produced in the skin from sunlight. Question 7. Which of the following reagents give a positive test for the main food present in a slice of baked potato? This was also a paper 2 question in January 2025. Yeah. And I hope everyone is thinking about the starch test, which means iodine solution is in place. Yeah. Which of the following teeth aid in the grinding of food into smaller pieces? Ooh, this is my favorite question. No one knows how much I like this question. I really like this. I always look forward to seeing this question come in human and social biology. I always look forward to it. It's really a nice question. All right. Molars and premolars. We know grinding food into smaller pieces is chewing. You want to chew, mastication. You want to grind that food up to make it into a bolus to be able to swallow it. Yeah. Uh, Question 9. Uh, the part of the human digestive system. And you see how many of these questions would have come in matching yesterday's 2024 June paper. You see how many of them match up. So we have 1, the liver, 2, the stomach, and 3, the small intestine. So we are just looking for which sequence correctly matches each numbered structure to its function. That's the question for number 9. And we know that 1, the liver produces bile, so straight away we see the answer jumping out at us as being C. Let me see something right. Number 10. Which of the following statements is not true about the ileum? The ileum is part or one of the parts of the small intestine. The small intestine is broken into 3 parts: the duodenum, the ileum, the jejunum. So 10, they're asking about the ileum. So is richly supplied by blood capillaries. The wall secrete enzymes which complete digestion. It contains hundreds of minute projections called microvilli. It has a small surface area for the absorption of products of digestion. And that's the best. That's the one. it has a small surface area. And I hope persons don't get confused with a small surface area. Remember, they asked for which one is not true. The capital letters for the not make you pay attention to it. So you want which one is false. A small surface area is false. It has a large surface area. All right, not a small one. Right? So the answer for 10 is D. Question 11. Which of the following represents the correct sequence of events in the formation of a dental cavity? We have abscess, dentine decay, enamel decay, plaque formation. And this is actually just going backwards. Plaque formation, enamel decay, dentine decay, and then we crown it off with Roman numeral 1 abscess. Yeah, so 4, 3, 2, 1. Which one says 4, 3, 2, 1? So it makes 11D. Which of the following phrases best describes egestion? I do like this question. And I like this question because it allows you to distinguish between egestion and excretion. For some reason, CXC likes to ask this, and I like this question because of how repetitive it is. Yeah? How teachers teach it, and I do see teachers teaching it, and when they're teaching it, they always make distinction of the two of them, which makes this question applicable to the active teacher. All right, so it is in fact a great question. They ask you for the best definition, and we are going with the removal of undigested food from the alimentary canal. Yeah, because that's what egestion is. Egestion is getting rid of the fecal matter or the undigested food, which is mostly would be fiber, roughage that passes through the alimentary canal because of beta bonds in cellulose. Yeah. Kawashiiko is a deficiency disease caused by a lack of protein. A lack of fat is just make you skinny. A lack of glycogen, right? It means you have low blood sugar. A lack of carbohydrates kind of makes you tired, skinny, right? So, protein, a lack of protein will give you that disease. Question 14. Hello, Crystal. Happy evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Which of the following vitamins is not fat soluble? See the capital letters. Anytime you see capital letters, you pay attention to it. Please pay attention to it, whether you underline it while you're doing the exam or, or do a little shading around it. But pay attention to the capital letters. So which one is not fat soluble? We are going with vitamin C. Vitamin B and C are water soluble. All right. So ADE is fat soluble. And we see we are transitioning. Once you see this figure, you notice you are transitioning into respiration. That is topic 2. That is the second topic in section B. All right. Which of the labeled parts represent the diaphragm? And if this is demonstrating breathing, you know that the diaphragm is kind of at the bottom of the rib cage to kind of close the respiratory cavity, right? So 2 will be the lungs. 1 is the pathway into the lungs, maybe the trachea, the windpipe, that kind of area there. 3 would be kind of like the rib cage, the thing protecting and creating the cavity. And it will make 4 the diaphragm. Yeah? So 5 is D. 15, I mean, is I don't know why I say 5. Number 15. So, wrapping up with 16 and wrapping up nutrition. Which part of the tooth prevents wear and is resistant to decay? Which part of the tooth? You want the part that is the hardest. Yeah, the part that you hope will take the longest to break down once you keep it clean. Yeah. And even when you bury persons and things, some of their teeth are some of the last to break down. So we have dentine, enamel, cement, crown. The crown is just the teeth that is showing, the part of the tooth that is showing. The cement is the part that holds the teeth in place in the gum. The enamel is the thing you see when you smile, and the dentine is under the enamel. So the resistant part to decay is supposed to be the enamel. Question 17. I say for this question, you need to read all the answers. Read all the answers. This is about smoking cigarettes. We have the number of cigarettes smoked per day on the x-axis. And on the y-axis, we have the risk of getting cancer of the lungs. And we see it's going up really, really by a factor of 10. Right? So they ask you, which of the following can be deduced from the graph? And as the number of cigarettes smoked per day increases, the risk of getting lung cancer increases. That is the answer. When you are doing this question in the exam, you read all the responses. Please read all the responses. Right? You never know if they may move A to B. They could shuffle them around. So take your time, read the responses. I know reading all the responses will take up some time, but that's okay. Yeah? You have 75 seconds to answer each question. You will get through. Question 18. Which of the following best completes the equation for aerobic respiration? They ask you for best, and they put in bold aerobic respiration. So this is not anaerobic, this is aerobic. So we have glucose and oxygen. We need to have carbon dioxide. Yes, yes. I don't know why they have carbon monoxide here. So these two are out. C and D. You need to have water. Both of them have water. And you need to have ATP, or in this case, energy. So it makes B for 18 the best answer. Question 19. During respiration, the release of energy in a cell occurs when you use the ATP, right? And I always teach this as if you're using your phone. When you have your phone fully charged, when the battery is on 100, you have it in ATP mode. When you are using it, you are using up the ATP and it's decreasing. So 2 is less than 3. And what do I mean by that? ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. ADP stands for adenosine diphosphate. So the first one, tri, is 3, and di is 2. So you decrease. Yeah? So the release of energy is when you decrease. So 19 is A. ATP is converted to ADP. Question 20. Which of the following, and let me go back up to 19, and then someone asked me within the last couple of days, so how come D isn't in play? ATP and oxygen from oxyhemoglobin. It's not, this doesn't give the release of energy. Yeah, because if we look down here, we see oxygen. Well, the oxygen is coming from the oxyhemoglobin, but The oxygen is a reactant in respiration. It is not a product. All right? Don't get mixed up with that. The oxygen is a reactant, right? It's not the product. The product, ATP, is a product. All right? Question 20. Which of the following components of cigarette smoke reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood? You know that as carbon monoxide? Carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin. It binds to hemoglobin with a lot stronger affinity than carbon dioxide. And when it binds, and that's why you would have learned through the syllabus that there's such a thing as carbon monoxide poisoning. That's what happens if too much carbon monoxide binds to your hemoglobin. It poisons you and relaxes you. Your nervous system kind of slows down. Yeah, you kind of start to drift off into sleep, and then you die. That's what happens to carbon monoxide poisoning. So carbon monoxide binds to oxygen carrying capacity in the blood, which you know is the red blood cells containing hemoglobin. Item 21, the diagram represents, anytime you see this kind of lobe nucleus, it should instantly pop into your mind that you are thinking about white blood cell. There are two types of white blood cells your syllabus requires you to know. The lymphocyte, which is the one producing the antibodies, and the phagocyte, one very similar to this, which is responsible for eating. Phago means eating, right? So this diagram represents the phagocyte. Which of the following statement best, see that capitalized word there, describes the lymphatic system? And we want the best one. Consists of lymph and tissue fluid only. Oh, the only makes that an incorrect answer. It has a very small role to play in fighting off microorganisms. It has a significant role. I wouldn't call it small. It is a circulatory system whose main function is to transport fats. It consists of tissue fluid, lymph, and plasma, and is the second largest circulatory system in man. Yes, that just the amount of words make it sound like the best answer to go with. So 22 is D. The left side of the heart has a thicker muscular wall in order to do what? The heart, the purpose of the heart is to be able to pump blood to places. So you want to have a nice thick wall if you need to pump blood to your whole body. And by your whole body, we mean from your head to your toes. Yeah? So we're looking for some answer that says that pump blood to the lungs. The lungs is literally right next to the heart. Receive blood from the lungs. You don't need to have a thick muscular wall to receive blood from the lungs. Pump blood to the rest of the body. Oh, they said it. Receive blood from the rest of the body. No, you receive blood from the rest of the body on the right-hand side of the heart. So 23, the answer is C. Someone is asking what paper is this? This is the June 2022 paper 1 in human and social biology. High blood pressure most likely leads to cardiac problems. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Cardiac muscle, meaning there's a muscle found on the heart. The heart is made up of cardiac muscle. So, yes, the most likely outcome is cardiac problems. Let's look for 25. Which sequence of events need to occur for a blood clot to be formed. Blood clot to be formed, you want to end with fibrin. So straight away, we see A and B being the answer. And you want to start with thromboplastin. So straight away, we see A being the answer for number 25. Yeah. So thromboplastin is turned into prothrombin, then to thrombin, fibrinogen, and then fibrin. Right? That's the sequence of this. And if you could, depending on how much you want to learn, maybe you might want to show, it actually has things before the potassium, the calcium, but it all should start with some kind of injury, right? If we're talking blood clots, hopefully it's some kind of injury that may have kicked it off, and this not just happening while you are just sitting there, right? That will lead to really drastic problems. Item 26 refers to the following diagram of a human arm. I hope persons are seeing the progression of the topics. The topic before musculoskeletal is circulation, before circulation was respiration, and before respiration was nutrition, right? These questions are questions based on section B of the HSB syllabus. So 26, when the arm is bent or flexed, we know that the bicep connects to the radius. You could see it in the diagram here. And the tricep connects to the ulna. You could see it in the diagram here. So if you bend your arm up, the bicep gets shorter. It contracts. In fact, that's the better word. The bicep contracts. It pulls on the radius. That's why your arm goes up. And the tricep relaxes. So which answer says that for us? So 26, the bicep pulls on the radius. '27, we are looking for a diagram that represents the pelvic girdle. A, you could see the collarbone here, the clavicle right here. B, yes, we see the whole pelvic girdle, the whole lump there. So we know that's the answer. We see a vertebrae and we see the bones going down into the coccyx down here in D. 28, the pair of bones that rotate most while manually sharpening a pencil is. So this one, everyone is already has a pencil in their hand because they are doing the multiple choice paper, which you're doing in pencil. So you just hold your left hand in place and you turn your right hand. Turn whichever hand have the pencil in it. So if you're right-handed, your right hand should have your pencil in it. If you're left-handed, the left hand should have the pencil in it. All you need to do is turn your wrist to see which bones are moving. All right? Which bones are moving. So you know the bones in your forearm are moving. So that is two bones, the radius and the ulnar. And they have already told you it's a pair. They have already told you it's a pair, right? The tibia and fibula is in your leg. All right? That's in your leg. That's your shin bone and your calf bone. All right? The pelvis and femur. No, why is your thigh bone and thing moving because of, right? Your humerus and scapula. Oh, you're not moving your upper arm to sharpen a pencil manually. Right? And some persons may be thinking, what kind of pencil sharpener are they using? Maybe they're using one of those ones that they rotate or something. No, it's the little ones that they sell at the cafeteria for $1. Yeah, the little plastic flimsy thing with the small little blade and screw. All right? So don't think anything overly fancy. Right? It's the same pencil sharpener that you have in your pencil case. Question 29. The function of the marrow in long bones is to do what? The marrow in long bones. Remember, there are two types of marrow, the red marrow, the yellow marrow. Yeah, and they have a part to play in the development of blood cells. Yeah, and they told you it was long bones. Even if it was short bones, you know you were going with white blood cells, but it's long bones, so it is red blood cells. So B is the answer. Um, Items 30 and 31 refer to this diagram about the kidney tubule, which label part collects filtrate from the glomerulus. So we see the glomerulus being right here, right? And we have the arrows going out there. So the nearest one is B to the arrows, right? So let me just write in B for you. Question 31. Which labeled part brings blood to the glomerulus? We know that is the afferent. That is the afferent arteriole, which is A. This one is the efferent arteriole, which takes blood away from the glomerulus, right? So the answer here is A. Question 32. Liam notices that his face is flushed red after playing football. Which of the following processes causes his face to be flushed? And we see that these questions, even about the kidney, it means we are change topic. We moved on from musculoskeletal. We are now into excretion, osmoregulation, homeostasis. Yeah. So those are the topics that we are looking for. And that's why we could say with confidence that question 32 is about vasodilation, where blood is coming to the surface of Liam's skin because he's feeling warm. Remember, he's playing football, so he's doing activity. Yeah. So bringing blood closer to the surface of your skin helps with the loss of heat. So C is the answer for 32. 33. Which of the following occurs when blood sugar levels rise above normal? If we are talking about the rise in blood sugar levels, instantly we are talking about insulin being secreted. So insulin secretion is increased. 33, the answer is D. 34, which of the following is an involuntary action, meaning one that is not controlled, one that happens automatically? You don't have to think and ponder about it. It happens really simple, really smoothly without you having any thought about it. And you know that one is breathing. Question 35 shows the following diagram of a longitudinal section through a human eye. The part labeled X is the iris. This is the colored part of your eye. If you watch your eye in a mirror, you see the pupil directly to the center here, right? Which allows light into your eye. And the iris on the outside of the pupil. This is a longitudinal section, but remember, this is a circle in real life. So A is the answer for question 35. Question 36. Which of the following are examples of effectors? And effectors and everything falls under the topic of coordination and control, right? So Effectors, we have the eyes and ears, we have muscles and glands, we have nerves and dendrites, we have axons and cell bodies. What are persons thinking? Effectors. So if you are thinking about the flow chart for a response, yeah, you are thinking, what are the effectors? What things cause the effect? Yeah, the muscles and glands. Yeah, so if you touch a flame by accident, you touch the hot pot or something, it's the muscles. The muscles will pull your hand away from that flame. Yeah, the muscles and the glands is the answer. Question 37. Which of the following statements is not true about the endocrine and nervous system? See that not in capital letters. They both respond to stimuli. We want the thing that's false. They both respond to stimuli. That's true. They both respond for coordination and control of the body. Basically, they say the same thing with more words. That's true. They both have specialized cells for transmitting and receiving information. That's true, right? Endocrine, hormones, nervous system, electricity. Yeah, that's true. They both have the same response time for transmitting and receiving information. That is absolutely not true. Yeah, the nervous system working with electricity works a lot faster. So the response time and the transmitting time is clearly different. Question 38 refers to the following diagram, which shows light rays passing through the pupil of the eye. And they ask you, the image that is formed is, well, it's somewhere in the middle here. So formed in front of the retina, yes, that's true, because the retina quite back here and it's not being formed. And the formation, the lines must make the X, right? I hope persons are understanding that. The lines must make the X, right? This is supposed to go quite back here onto the retina. So this is far out. So this person is actually seeing this out of focus. This person is seeing this out of focus, so they actually need some glasses, some contact lens to help fix their problem. Anyway, the answer formed in front of the retina, the question 39, and reproduction is the final topic for life processes. Yeah. So anytime you are wrong, question 40 or so, you know you're getting into reproduction. Fertilization occurs in the oviduct when the sperm and the egg meet and bounce up, fuse. And we know this as the sperm fuses with the ovum. All right? Fertilization. Question 40, a front view of the male reproductive system. They have it, have the sperm duct here, they have the urethra, they have the prostate gland, the seminal vesicles, and they ask you, which of the following correctly identifies the structures labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4? Well, I already identified them. So we will just select the answer as C. All right. So 40 is C. 41, sexual reproduction is defined as the fusion of zygotes, fusion of gametes, fission of gametes, production of offspring by mitosis. Well, you actually need gametes to play a part in sexual reproduction, and when they fuse in humans, it is the sperm and the egg. Yeah. So 41 is B. I see someone is talking about paper 3 is on Friday. Yes, we do want to do some. We will do some practice for paper 3 as well. And we do have some videos already on paper 3, so you can check them out. But that will happen tomorrow. Right now, this is paper 1, June 2022 that we're doing, just to build up our confidence. We know persons have been preparing this for a while. We know HSB is a fun topic that everyone looks forward to for the exam. So we are likewise doing our part to help get you that one. Yeah. But we will do some stuff on paper 3 probably tomorrow as well. But in the meantime, you could check out other videos that we have done on other paper 3s. Which of the following methods of birth control is least capital letters effective in preventing pregnancy? And you want the worst one. So the worst one, barrier is really good depending on which barrier you use. Natural, surgical, hormonal. Natural is the worst one. So 42B is the best answer. 43 refers to the following information. The following genotypes are given for two parents, both of whom can roll their tongue. Which of the following genotypes is not possible for any of their offspring? Homozygous dominant, heterozygous, homozygous recessive. We know homozygous recessive based on the genotypes of the father and the mother cannot happen. Yeah, so 3. 3 cannot happen, and that makes the answer C. Remember, they asked which one is not possible. So 43 is C. 44. Which of the following statements about meiosis is true? It occurs in the uterus. 4 daughter cells are produced. It produces genetically identical cells. Daughter cells have the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. All right, well, the answer is a kind of giveaway answer. The 4 daughter cells are produced. That is true. This occurs in the uterus. Remember, this is not occurring in the uterus, right? Ovaries. Don't let that trick you. All right? Don't let that trick you. 45. In which of the following structures is an allele for eye color located? Chromosomes, yes. Mitosis is an organelle in the cell called the apparatus. Another cell organelle, endoplasmic reticulum, could be smooth or rough, but still another cell organelle. And all of these 3, B, C, and D, have nothing to do with being inside the nucleus. So we know that A, the chromosome, the only one that is in the nucleus, is the answer. As we continue with the section C of questions, which of the following is an example of genetic engineering? And the only one that will jump out at you is the production of insulin by E. coli bacteria. So 46, the answer is D. 47, antibiotics are chemicals, and you see you starting to move into the other section, this going into diseases, which is from section D of your syllabus. Antibiotics are chemicals which can safely be taken into the body. They do not harm human cells, but they destroy. What do they destroy? Antibiotics. They are against bacteria. So we're looking for bacteria. D. 47 is D. 48. What type of immunity is acquired from the antibiotics that are produced when a vaccine is administered? Now, a vaccine means it's made by someone, and the someone obviously is man. Right? So it's man-made. The word for man-made is artificial, right? You get the vaccine and they say it has to antibodies are produced. So it means the body is going to take a role in producing those antibodies. So the body has a part to play. So we are looking for two words, artificial and active. And the one that is given artificial and active is A. All right. So let's go to 49. 49 refers to the following information. It is caused by a bacterium. Persons practicing poor hygiene are more susceptible. It can be fatal without medical treatment. It involves the formation of ulcers. Which statements are true about color? Right? And the ulcers part, that one makes it so weird. Makes it so weird. So we are looking for 1, 2, and 3 being correct. Makes the answer C. SEMA has the following signs, symptoms: constriction of bronchial tubes, coughing and wheezing. She is most likely suffering from, and they're saying most likely, right? Asthma, malaria, typhoid, tuberculosis. Yeah, asthma, asthma, asthma. The Anopheles mosquito is known for the spread of malaria. The way I always try to teach this question, the way I always try to teach students which of the mosquitoes is the vector for malaria, the Anopheles mosquito, the Anopheles species of mosquito, that's the only one that transmits malaria. All the other mosquito viruses, Aedes. Yeah. So once you know the malaria and Anopheles association, you know all the others is the other one, Aedes. Right? So 51 is B. Which of the following is an example of a nutritional deficiency disease? Rickets? Yes. Straight away, yes. Right? Nutritional deficiency disease means you are not getting it in your diet. You're not getting enough of it, if you're getting any at all. All right? So rickets, 52 is A. 53. Which of the following gases contributes most to the greenhouse effect? Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and we know the whole rant about carbon dioxide. I think everyone knows about that and greenhouse effect and global warming and putting carbon and carbon footprint and reducing your carbon footprint, etc. So 53 is it. I hope by now person see that we are into the we're wrapping up. We're into the last topic. The last well not topic, the last section of the syllabus is man's impact on the environment. Yeah? Which of the following measures should an individual adopt to control diabetes? So we're just wrapping up section D here. They should increase the carbohydrate intake. That's the opposite of what they should do. Adopt an active lifestyle. Lose weight. They should do 2 and 3, which makes the answer C. 54 is C. Which of the following substances contribute to the excessive growth of algae in waterways? And we have nitrates and sulfates, nitrates and phosphates, carbonates and sulfates, carbonates and phosphates. We know it is nitrates, nitrates and phosphates. B. B is the answer. I like your confidence. I like it. And that's exactly why we do these videos. So everyone gets that one. We're doing it for the one. In the large water purification, the formation of acid which destroys organisms is achieved by the process of adding chlorine to the water. That is called chlorination, which makes 56C. 57, the process by which water vapor changes to water. Water vapor is the gas. It is changing to a liquid, is known as sublimation, no evaporation, no solidification, no condensation. Yes. 57 is D. 58, which of the following are effects of releasing untreated sewage into rivers and lakes? Increasing bacteria? Yes. Decreasing oxygen? Yes. Death of fish? Yes. So 58, we have all these things occurring 1, 2, and 3. Yes. D is the answer of 58. The most effective ways of purifying water in the home are boiling it and adding some bleach. Don't add too much. You know, there's a prescribed amount add. And so boiling and chlorination. And that makes the answer for 59 to be C. Yeah. Which of the following substances is biodegradable? Wood, plastic, concrete, styrofoam, which is biodegradable, meaning it could be broken down in nature. And it would be wood. All right, wood would be the one that can be broken down. Plastic, concrete, and styrofoam, no, they would last a really long while, even in nature. Right, so this question 60 means we come to the end of the questions for section E, which means we have finished the exam. So if we go down, we should see end of test. Yeah. So how is it for you? Are you feeling that much more confident preparing for your exam on Friday? Are you okay? Are you going to take the evening off tomorrow to just relax? Do let us know in your comments how you're feeling about it. If you're saying, okay, yeah, good, feeling really confident for Friday following this paper one, that's wonderful, Sanji. That's wonderful. And that's why we do this, right? To try to give you that confidence, to let you know, yes, you know the work, you do know the work, be confident about it, go in there, give it your best shot, and you will get that one. No. Who's saying a grade 2? No. We're not accepting grade 2s. We taking the one. We taking the one. Yeah. We taking the one. We taking the full 30% that this paper has to offer. Yeah. So make sure you are on time for your exam. Do look out for more content from us. Please click the subscribe, give that thumbs up, click the notification bell. We will release our possible answers for paper 2 that went last week. We'll probably touch down with paper 3. You could also check out other videos that we have and do continue to support what we do here at Elite CXC. All right. So I'm wishing everyone an enjoyable evening. Your favorite principal here, wishing you all the best. Take care.